All right, let's start with the question we got heated on yesterday to start the segment. To start the Tuesday, what was that, the Monday show?
Monday show.
The Monday show. So the Tuesday show, the future of Kalen DeBoer. For those that it wasn't enough in the statement, we asked him in person yesterday. I didn't. Nick Kelly did first, and then was a follow-up question, and it went like this. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, just for clarity's sake, so things aren't left up to interpretation, are you going to be the coach of Alabama next year?
Man, come on, Nick. All right, I put a statement out yesterday because first of all, our guys handle distractions phenomenally. It's been that way all season long. They continue to do that. And so, but I also, knew that yesterday and today was pretty important. I wasn't going to see until today to address it. So that's why I put that out there. A lot of the same things I said before, a couple of weeks ago when asked really the same question. Just, feel completely supported. My family loves living here. Just all the things that we continue to build on. Love the progress. Haven't talked with anyone. No plans of talking with anyone. So just I think that's a lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, and it continues to be the same thing. Feel strong about it. And our guys, if there's been any distraction, I haven't seen it, haven't felt it. And so I'm really proud of the way they've handled whatever noise is out there. And again, we've probably all season long have dealt with enough noise to where it doesn't surprise me on how they handle this.
Just for clarification and going back to Nick's question, will you be the coach at Alabama next season?
I plan on it. Yes. Nick, yes. Charlie, yes.
Yeah. Charlie Potter with the final follow-up there. So, yes, Nick. Yes, Charlie. With a little laugh from the coach there. No way to interpret that any other way, right?
Well, I mean, to Nick Kelly's first question, he did kind of go on a bit of a monologue and didn't directly answer the question, which, let me just say, as if you remember the start of yesterday's show, his statement was enough for me. I didn't need any further clarification. I didn't need him to say, I'm going to be the coach in 2026. I'm going to be the coach in 2027. I'm going to be the coach in 2028, unless I get fired. I didn't need that. I thought the statement was clear enough. That's fine with me. But for those that needed further clarification, which obviously some did, and Nick Kelly, as a member of the media, is kind of the voice of the public. They don't get to go in that room and ask questions. So Nick and Charlie's job is to ask the questions that they think the public wants to hear. So I'm assuming enough people in the public were like, yeah, I'd kind of like to hear him say he'd be here in 2026. Well, he was asked that question. He kind of rambled again and didn't specifically answer that. So I have no problem with Charlie following it up. And then he came back and said yes and yes. So I presume that's enough for everyone. There are still Michigan people that are ignoring this. I have seen them when Twitter is, in fact, working properly. I have seen them still saying this doesn't close the door, that Michigan still believes they're alive in this. So until Michigan has a hire, there are going to be Michigan people that think they can still hire Kalen DeBoer.
Well, sure. I mean, that's, there were Miami Dolphin people that heard Nick Saban say he was going to be Miami Dolphins coach. I'm not going to Alabama, so anything's possible. But his body language for me, if you'll just get it about midway through it, because I want after the follow-up where we get to the yes and yes, yes, Nick, yes, Charlie, watch the body language here, because if you're a guy who, and I've done this a long time, you guys know that. Y'all call me old all the time. So when you're in these news conferences, now watch when you go ahead and play it. Give me the audio too.
Weeks ago when asked really the same question, just feel completely supported. My family loves living here. Just all the things that we continue to build on.
If you're tense about it,
love the progress. Haven't talked with anyone.
You're tense about it what?
If you're tense about it, watch. You don't react to the follow-up the same way here. Watch this.
A lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, and it continues to be the same thing. Feel strong about it. And our guys, if there's been any distraction, I haven't seen it, haven't felt it. And so I'm really proud of the way they've handled whatever noise is out there. And again, we've probably all season long have dealt with enough noise to where it doesn't surprise me on how they handle this.
Just for clarification and going back to Nick's question, will you be the coach at Alabama next season?
I plan on it. Yes. Nick, yes. Charlie, yes.
I mean, that's a genuine laugh. I mean, if you're around the guy long enough, you and I are pretty good at fake laughing. There are people who.
That's a little much. That's a little heavier.
Okay, you and I are good at fake laughing.
Yes.
If you're around Kalen DeBoer enough, that's a genuine Kalen DeBoer laugh. There, he laughed at it. It's like yes and yes.
Yeah, he did.
That's a guy comfortable with that answer.
Yeah. So you're saying that he were in his mind just trying to push this question down the road and not give a direct answer, if asked for a follow-up by Charlie, he would have said, guys,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here to talk about Oklahoma. What more do I need to say about this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He would have answered it differently.
Gotcha.
He's a nice guy. Would have probably answered it anyway, but would not have answered it with a genuine laugh.
Yeah.
That's a guy very comfortable with that answer right there. That's just a guy who's been doing it 30 years. So if Michigan can hold on to hope, I could be wrong. I have interviewed Dennis Franchione in his driveway before and been wrong. I'll always go back to that. So nothing's 100%. But that page can be turned. We can start talking about the game now.
We can't. Can I just quickly say one more thing before we completely turn the page?
Yeah. This is our Bojangles Brown One More Moment of the day.
Presented by Bojangles. It could be bow tie. Do I need to do that?
No,
it could be
do it after
I do my one more thing.
After your one bow thing.
Okay, my one bow thing. If you do like Kalen DeBoer, and I know there are some, we've talked about this often, that are still on the fence about this, right? But assuming he wins enough to win you over, or he's already won enough to win you over, if going to an SEC championship game, beating Auburn twice, making the playoffs in his second year, if all those things are like, you know what, it's not been perfect, but it's enough. I'm a believer in this guy. Wherever you are on that, if you dodge losing a guy to Penn State and Michigan, there's not many places you're going to lose him to. It would be the only other point I would make. If you really like this guy, if he were truly unhappy here, and if he truly thought, boy, this was a big mistake following Nick Saban, those were two easy exits. You can go to Penn State and Michigan and win a lot of games and get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Those are easy exits.
An easier path than he's going to have at Alabama.
That's right. So that's my only point I would make before we completely turn the page.
And easier NIL money.
Yeah, and I just don't know what SEC jobs would come open, because if you're not going to go to Michigan or Penn State, about the only Big 10 job you'd consider taking beyond those would be Ohio State.
That's right.
And I don't think it's coming open anytime soon. I don't know what SEC job would come open that would worry you. So, again, if you're an Alabama fan that likes Kalen DeBoer, you eventually get on that bandwagon with him. I think what has happened over the last 2 weeks is enough to put your mind at ease. This guy's going to be here long term.
That's a tasty thought brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
Bojangles can make it bow time for you, especially for those holiday parties that are coming up. You want a unique catering idea for your holiday party? Bojangles has that for you. Bojangles can make it bow time with those great fried chicken, the chicken tenders, the great sides, those bow bites, the hand-breaded chicken tender bites that you dip in that peach honey pepper sauce, and you thank us later for doing that because they are so good. And those great biscuits and the tea and all of that, it can be your holiday party idea at Bojangles. So whether it is breakfast on the way to school or work tomorrow or lunch today or dinner tonight, you can always make it bow time with Bojangles.
All right, so now to the game on the field. Alabama, Oklahoma, and it's happening 7 o'clock. Weather's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. For you that are making the trip out there, about a 10-hour, 9.5-hour drive from where we sit right now to the stadium there. Some of you, I recommend flying into Dallas, 2-hour drive up. Nice little short drive, 2-hour, 2.5-hour up to Norman. Instead of trying to fight into Oklahoma City. But if you get a good price, whatever you're doing to make the trip out there to support the Tide. I will tell you this. Ty Simpson's health has been a big storyline since the Missouri game, when he was obviously hurt on one sack fumble play and hasn't always been his usual self the rest of the year. Ty gets asked about it point blank yesterday. There's not a lot in the answer, but I at least want you to see him get asked about his health.
From a health standpoint, a lot of people have been kind of wondering, how are you feeling? Just how are you, especially after that game at a SEC championship game?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm excited. It's a great opportunity winning the college football playoff. Like, at this point in the season, I don't know a team who is healthy at all. So fire me up. I'm ready to go.
Fire me up. I'm ready to go. Ty never addresses this health thing.
Nope.
Whether it is real or made up by those that are close to the program. Whatever is happening here, he's not addressing it. He's playing through it. So that's physical. Now mentally, where I've heard people from Herb Street on down talk about Ty at times is trying to be too perfect.
Yep.
Too perfect. Lots on his shoulders. We've seen Joel Klatt. We've seen the film guy talk about everything that's on Ty's shoulders. A lot of the adjustments, the audibles, the blocking schemes. He's having the clock is down to 3, 2, 1 before they snap because he's having to do so much to keep this offense moving. Mentally, I wonder if he's mentally as healthy as he was at one point.
That's the question, because the between the ears portion of the game, I mean, I think Ty is a very smart kid.
That's where he excels,
yeah,
right?
I mean, that's we've been told, he's a coach's son, grew up in the sport. Supposedly, in the film room. I'm not in the film room with him. I wouldn't know what I'm doing if I was. But you talk to people that are in him, they're like, this kid really excels in that part of the game. But I think sometimes that could potentially, not for everyone, but potentially be a detriment, because if that's the part of the game you excel in, sometimes it's got to be too perfect, right? And yeah, this didn't really happen against Georgia, which not much went right against Georgia. So they never really got in the situation where they had to call a timeout to avoid a delay of game. I don't know how many timeouts Alabama's had to call this year to avoid delays of game. It feels like almost every timeout they use does that, to the point that sometimes at the end of the half, they don't have the timeouts they need.
Now,
it hasn't really burned them at the end of a game yet.
I will tell you now, there's a lot that goes on because the headset for the defense also shuts off at 15
Correct,
seconds.
yes.
So anything I move offensively after 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Then the defense has to get a hand signal adjustment.
That's right.
Or they're not adjusting. Either way, whatever's happening, that last 15 seconds is precious in the chess game of offense and defensive coordinators.
So you're saying if I'm going to change formations, if I'm going to move guys, I'm going to put guys in motion, between 15 and 0 is the time to do it.
That's
because
right.
now I'm having to look to the sidelines.
That's exactly right.
No, you're 100% right.
I think Alabama tries to play that game a lot. They try to, in those final 15 seconds, take advantage of the other team having to do it on their own or hand signal something in last minute to adjust to a play.
Which is great, and I like that. Now, the problem becomes if Alabama, you got to be so on your game calling, your play calling game, because if you substitute, you almost have to substitute right at the whistle. Because if they substitute any time after the play clock gets started, now we're coming to the line of scrimmage, and we've got the official standing there holding us, and I can't do my motions yet. And now the official lets me go at 12. Well, now I've got a formation change and then a motion back across at 12 seconds, and I'm looking at the defense, and I'm audibling based on their changes, and now all of a sudden the play clock's at 1, and that's where Alabama's having to use the timeouts.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and that is indicative of, I do think it's part of Alabama's game plan, but I think it's also indicative of Ty Simpson trying to get the perfect look, and sometimes that really makes you nervous if you're watching that play clock.
Ty gets asked about the mental aspect of the game, not just for him, but for the team as they get ready to bounce back from a loss in the SEC championship game that it was handed to them pretty badly by Georgia.
What a great opportunity. It's a new season, right? 0-0, 0-0. Nobody's won, nobody's lost. If you win, you advance. We know what happened last year. We know what happened this year. But we can't, worry about that, right? Like, we got to do what we do. We can control. And guess what? We control our attitude, how we play, and how we prepare. So we're going to prepare like we've never won and perform like we've never lost, like we said. So, just a great opportunity. Really excited. It's two good teams going at it. First college football playoff game of the year on Friday night. Let's do it. Very excited.
Let's do it. Alabama, Oklahoma,